Hey guys, Laura Whitmore here, owner of Strategic Test Prep. The December SAT is right around the corner. It's this weekend. So hopefully you've been studying really hard and you feel prepared. But just in case you're one of those last minute people or you just need a little extra something before the test, this video is going to help you with some last minute tips for how you can handle some situations when you get into the test on the December SAT. All right, here we go, guys. Tip number one, when you're working through the reading passages, make sure you're annotating your passages. What this means is you should be marking up your passage with where the line reference questions are at, putting the numbers to them in the margin. You should be writing down in a word or two what you're reading as you go to hold your feet to the fire and to keep you focused. So your thoughts don't drift off to other things like what you're going to have for lunch or what you're going to do with your friends later. So make sure that you're keeping your pencil on the paper throughout the whole reading section, and it will keep you actively engaged instead of getting bored. Okay, next big one's also a reading one. Make sure you're finding synonyms in the text with other synonyms in the answer choices. The textual evidence needs to match the answer choice perfectly. And it's very rare for the text to say the same exact thing as the answer choice. That would be an easy level question if they did that. So just make sure when you find textual evidence, you pick an answer that says the same thing in a different way. And that kind of goes along with another thing. Watch for making inferences. You guys cannot connect the dots yourself. Unless the text says it, don't pick it. So if the text says the man was sitting down and rarely got up from his seat, you can't just assume that the man's being lazy. You know, that is a valid, logical reason for maybe why the man never gets up from his seat. However, there are other reasons that can come into play. He could be sick. He could be injured. He could be really old. So don't make any assumptions. Just go off what the text says. All right, tip number 3, make sure you stick to a 1-minute rule and you mark questions to come back to if you're unsure. You guys do not need to get every single question right. So please do not fight questions to the death and spend too long on them. You're going to rob yourself of the chance to get into other questions that you can easily pick up the points on. In the meantime, don't leave it blank. Still fill in an answer just in case you run out of time. So at least that way you have a 25% chance of still getting the point. Now, this strategy is very, very important, especially in the writing section. If you are less than 100% confident on your answer on a writing question, that's section 2, make sure you mark it to come back to. Typically, the ones you're not confident in are the ones that you're going to get wrong. So the writing section is a good time for you to go back and check over ones that you just weren't really sure on to make sure you can pick the best answer possible. And along the same lines, tip number 4 is also with the writing section. If you have it narrowed down to 2 and you're correcting grammar or you're just correcting something in the passage and you're not sure, pick the shortest one. 9 times out of 10, the shortest answer, meaning the one with the least words in it, is correct because the SAT is all about being short, sweet, concise, not redundant, not repetitive. So just pick the shortest. You can always mark it to come back to. Tip number 5, even on the calculator section, make sure you're writing down some of your work. The worst thing you can do is just type everything into the calculator because what if you have to come back to the question later? You need a record of what you did on the problem so that you can catch careless mistakes, so that you can pick up where you left off. So please refrain from typing every single little thing into the calculator and not writing any of your work down on the paper. Tip number 6, geometry might be a weakness for you. I know geometry is not my favorite math subject, but at the end of the day, you can always take your bubble sheet and measure side lengths and use it as a ruler if you have to. Most of the figures are drawn to scale, so just know you have that strategy in your back pocket if you're not really sure what the side of a triangle is or the side of a rectangle or whatever. Okay, tip number 7. Don't leave anything blank, which I already kind of mentioned before. Guys, you don't get penalized for guessing. So you're going to want to have an answer down for every single number. And don't wait till the end to bubble because, oh my gosh, what if you run out of time before you've bubbled in all your answers? So when it comes to bubbling on the bubble sheet, you know, do something that works best for you. You could either do a 1-to-1 ratio of bubbling, or you could answer an entire page and then bubble in your answers. It's really whatever works best for you, but please, for the love of everything you hold dear, do not, I repeat, do not wait till the last minute to bubble in all your answers. I will find your address. I will come look for you. I will find out where you live. You will not like that. Okay, so along the same lines, you don't want to leave anything blank. I'm just going to cover a few guessing strategies that I think are going to be helpful for you. So the first one is, if you're not sure and you're on a math problem, pick a middle number in the range. You can't go wrong picking a middle number. You want to avoid outliers. They're typically not right. Your probability of getting the answer is a little bit higher if you go with a middle number. The second thing is, you're going to want to put 3 for any fill-ins you don't know how to do. I swear, guys, I have looked at hundreds of SATs, and the answer that comes up the most is 3. I don't know why, but just give yourself a chance. Put the number 3 down. Obviously, use some common sense. If the question is talking about thousands of dollars, then don't put 3, put like 2,500, but if you really have no idea and 3 seems like a valid answer, put the number 3. Also, you can use majority rules if you're not sure. So assess your answer choices and try to pick an answer that looks most like the other answer choices. It works great for math. You can also do it on the reading if 2 answer choices start the exact same way, or writing if you notice like a couple answer choices are very similar as well. Know your goal and know how many you can get wrong. You guys, nobody watching this video right now needs to get every single question right. If you look at a conversion chart from the October US 2022 test, you can miss 2 questions and still get a perfect score on the reading. You can miss 10 questions and still be on pace for 700. So please go easy on yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Do not develop I need to have a perfect score. I need to get every single question right mentality, because you're going to freak yourself out in there. Part of the process of taking a test is getting stuck and is knowing or not knowing really what to do. So I want you to go into this test with that mindset that it's okay if I don't understand something. It's okay if I'm stuck. I'm just going to mark it, put down a good guess, and move on. Nobody needs to be perfect on this. And admissions officers around the country all say that they don't nitpick once you're high in the 1500s. They're not going to take a 1530 scorer and say, oh, this student is worse than the 1580. They don't do that. Once you get in the 1500s, like a 1530 and above, it's considered just the same as a perfect score. So please keep that in mind and understand that if you get some wrong, you're going to be okay. All right, I really hope this video helped you. I will be thinking about you guys on Saturday. Please let me know how it went. And yeah, can't wait to see you guys again soon.